Hey everyone, welcome to the video. We got 5 days left in the season, and yesterday we got the last main defense. Today we're gonna get last main offense. We're gonna pick up these bombers, max them out, and really see if they're good enough for a few wins. The rest of the tree is just small things like maybe a few protos, some boosts like troop health, building damage. So those who already have some of that might be some tough matchups, but we'll see how it goes. So we got our first match over here, and it's a pretty standard base we've been seeing. We can try a similar hit as before, but instead of taking 4 HCs and 2 Zooks, we can try 3 HCs and 3 bombers. A few more bombers since they have the range and can kind of stay protected. And with the squad leaders, we can use them for not only this ER, but maybe those back few. So right here we can just drop everyone from the left, 3 HCs, 3 bombers, and the 2 squad leaders on the right side. Just like with Zuka hits, we're going to delay Kavan a bit towards the left side. Here we'll do 1 shock on that critter launcher and boom cannon. Just lets those heavies stay alive a bit longer. And now start dropping Kavan. Right side looking okay. Do have 1 HC dying on the left, so watch out for it. Can do a second wind, because not too many heavies in front of Kavan. And on this side we can start flaring that meat shield. In just a bit, follow with that Zook fan. And as we're moving and not shooting, we can use a bunch of smokes. 1 more second wind on the left side. Got some bombers shooting across the gap. Big advantage compared to Zooks. And watching that boom cannon. Now we can shock it since otherwise it'll hit the Zook fan. We got enough GB to keep everyone alive. We'll do 1 more shock towards here. Good thing Zook fan takes a BC shot. And then just 1 shock over here. Even though he's barely alive, we should have enough GB to keep the hit going. We'll do another couple shocks. All the while on the left side, don't really have to worry about. Those bombers should get it down most cases. And we'll pull a 221. See if it's okay. Looks like this guy going with HCs and maybe brick, which I've seen some people do. Think it's gonna get weaker the more time goes by, because now we'll get building damage soon, maybe a couple hot pots. And as we look at that kind of hit, we can really see how much troop health is gonna help us, because not only keeping HCs alive longer, but especially our squad leaders. So it'll for sure be our next pickup. Even after that, maybe building damage to stop those other people who did pick up troop health. It kinda cancels each other out, but it's still better we have it. And other than that, maybe some GBE for more shocks later in the hit. Quitters too for distracting some buildings. But really it's not much tech left in the season. And it's pretty different with squad leaders too. It's not like a normal HC bomber meta where you drop troops and let them clear. In this case, you can also see squad leaders getting the back ERs. Just a new element towards the game. Got this base over here, and we'll try pretty much the same thing. 3 HC bombers on the left and leaders on the right side. Can just drop them now. And we'll wait on Kavan. On the right we'll shock early. Get that boom cannon critter launcher. Still seeing the HC die soon. Really wanting that troop health. This one will keep Kavan towards the left side. And just watching a bit on the right. Starting 1 second wind. And here we'll start moving that meat shield up. Then get that Zook fan straight on that ER. Left side looking okay. As we get closer, we can do one shock. Bomber's looking fine. And really it's just getting these last few ERs. One more shock on the SL. Start moving that meat shield all the way to that ER. And as this one's almost down, we can do one more squad flare. And here just a couple shocks. Zook fan still doing a ton of damage. And you see that's basically where we're doing all our GB. Shocking for that Zook fan. And now one more ER. This time a bit faster, pulling a 232. See if it's okay. Here another guy with HC's brick, but it looks like enough. Got another match over here. This guy with a little different kind of base. But we can maybe try a similar hit. Still doing 3 HC bombers on the left side. That shock launcher might be a pain, but we can split up our troops. Shock launchers only shock stuff, don't do a ton of damage. So we can flare that meat shield towards that machine gun. He takes fire from these SLs. And just keep the Zook fan towards the right. Because all we need is that Zook fan to get that ER, and we're good. So drop the HCs, bombers, and the few leaders on the right side. We can still afford one shock over here, but this time not on the boom cannon but the SL. So we can do that in just a bit. Here we'll do Kavan towards the left side, especially since there's another ER further left. And now start moving that meat shield to that machine gun. And we'll get that Zook fan going over there. Looking okay for now. See that separation between that Zook fan and meat shield. In fact, we can just use it now to kill that shock launcher, since it kind of goes there anyways. Now going for that ER. Left side looking okay. Start moving a meat shield Zook fan towards the last ER. Couple bombers on this side. And we got a ton of GB, so just flaring the last ER. I know he only had 70 BH, so big reason for the faster time. 243. It's like this guy doing some hit with Seekers. Still faster than other hits. But as we get building damage, eventually a couple hot pots, don't think Seekers are gonna be a big issue. Here we got, looks like a bit different kind of base. 2 laser beams, 100 building damage, so heavier on the defense side. But maybe we can try a similar hit. Still doing 3 HC bombers here. And gotta worry a bit on this boom cannon. It might be tough with that BC and shock launcher on the right. Another way might be to go from the right instead, so the squad leaders have a bit protection. And we might just try that. So this time going 2 HCs, 2 bombers right here, couple leaders. And when the cannon's almost down, dropping the other HC bomber towards the left. And here we'll just keep Kavan a little to the right side, hoping he goes down the middle. And now flaring the leaders up there. That way we got a bit more protection for bombers on this side. Here mainly we're going to shock that Doom Cannon, keep the leaders alive. Bring back some bombers here, hoping that Rocket dies soon. And then just keep on shocking that DC. The angle for the lasers isn't too bad. They're mostly missing the bombers. But if you lose some, just bring them back. And the top side looking okay. Let's get another second wind. The way the bombers are splitting isn't too bad either. Get one more shock on this side. And that Zook fan is taking care of that top side. Top ER. So just a matter of time now. We got bombers working on this bottom ER. And we can just flare this top side. So it looks like we'll get 219. Not too much different, even though he got some laser beams, building damage. And see if it's okay. A little close one, but got that win. These kind of hits should be much easier once we get troop health. And eventually critters, GBE, just stuff to support those squad leaders. As far as mine clearing, critters should be fine. Big reason they're better is you can clear more mines if you drop them in the middle. And especially with that new change with critters, now troop health, troop damage affects them. So you can even throw some around ERs and do some extra damage. And this guy could have had a better placement of lasers, like maybe doing one right behind one ER. The way you want laser beams is just to kill bombers that are straight up going towards there. If there's any way that HCs get the laser beam and bombers don't, then you don't really want that. But we'll check out one more hit. Got a match over here. This guy with 150 building health, 2 hot pots. We can try a similar kind of hit as last time. Just because there's a shock launcher here and a hot pot, might be too much for only leaders on the right side. So when you bring more bombers on the right too, it's just more to support them. It just means towards these last ERs, you're going to have to be aggressive in flaring. Here even one HC bomber can be enough. And we'll kind of do a split drop. One HC bomber on this side, and the last one over here. Because there's mortars on the beach, we can do a flare too. So first flaring this one HC bomber, couple leaders on the right side, and as the bombers are shooting, drop the other troops. Here we can keep Kavan maybe towards the left. Gotta shock this rocket because now the HC is in the blind spot. And got enough time to start flaring the leaders. Doing maybe a few smokes. Kavan wants to go towards the right. That looks fine. And over here we're going to do a couple shocks. One on the SL, another on the hot pot. Other side's looking okay. We can let the Zook fan try to kill that shock launcher hot pot too. A bit delayed because it hit a shock mine. But still the other side's not looking too bad. Just want to make sure the SL is pinned down. And as this ER goes down, we can just flare the last one. So we'll start flaring, get a couple shocks going here. Again, just keeping that Zook fan there. Though he might die pretty soon to that boom cannon. Can try to keep him alive with smoke. And as the smoke runs out, we'll do one last shock. It's gonna be a slower time. Hot pot's really slowed us down on the right. But looking like it's 208. Gonna be close, or might be a loss, we'll see. But we'll take the win. It kind of made sense looking at his stats. 130 troop damage but no troop health, so he really had to be careful. But it shows why even a bit more defense makes a big difference. For us, it'll still take a few days to get all that tech. Right now our next steps are getting some troop health, then building damage, and then probably the two after is gonna be some critters and a couple hot pots. If you get even further than that, maybe go back for some GBE, and probably our last note is gonna be that bomber boost. Still, don't need barrage or art for the season. Critters should be enough for mines, and everything has so much building health, you can't really get much out of Bart. Similar with lasers, it's just so much building health that if you want to support them, it's just too much GBE. So we'll see how the next few days go. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.